XDC network is redefining global finance. Here is a really interesting article by Greg. Really an interesting article from internet pioneer to blockchain visionary. Let's check this out. At the World Trade Center in New York, leaders from finance and technology gathered to talk about the future. Among them was Ritesh Kakkar, co-founder of XDC Network, a blockchain built on three key promises. Now, folks, look at this. Simple promises, yet redefining how we perceive what finance is all about, what payments is all about, what transactions are all about. We're talking about speed, we're talking about cost efficiency and sustainability. Folks, uh, if we try to go deep, it goes way beyond just superficial meaning of speed, cost efficiency, and sustainability. It goes deeper because you might say there are a lot of projects who have a lot of high throughput, higher transactions per second, higher TPS basically, or they are more cost efficient than XDC. And talking about sustainability, you might say that yeah, it is much more sustainable. You might say that, but when we talk about XDC network and what makes it unique, folks, what makes it unique is the targeted audience and what it stands for. It stands for targeting the enterprises and financial institutions of the highest levels. It gives us speed that is needed, as far as needed to achieve that goal of providing best solutions for enterprises for global trade finance. It wouldn't say it has a million TPS. It does not need that, basically. If we talk about cost efficiency, it wants to change or transform the outdated paper system when it comes to global trade finance. The paperwork and paper monetary system is not cost efficient at all, folks. The transactions, the days it takes, and everything, you all know, it is really high, folks. So it is replacing that. And when we talk about sustainability, this is where the competitive edge of XDC network lies. The reason is that whatever it does, whatever move it makes, it tries to be legally compliant. It wants to be within the framework of MLETR and all the global standards made and constructed by the likes of United Nations, the IMF, World Bank, you name it. And one more thing I would like to add over here, the team. The team always stresses on compliance, and it seems that the team is really transparent when it comes to the success of XDC network and what it stands for. Look at this. If the internet digitized information, the next step had to be digitizing value. First, internet came, we digitized information and what information stood for. And now it is high time that we digitize value, we digitize physical assets and understand their value digitally online. So this is what differentiates XDC network from Bitcoin, Ethereum, and it takes us to a new path in the global world of finance, folks. Building for inclusion beyond efficiency, Kakkar sees blockchain as a tool for financial inclusion. This is a very noble cause, folks. There are 1.5 billion unbanked people worldwide. What does this mean? In a nutshell, in simpler terms, it means that those people that do not have access to financial platforms, they are segregated, they're secluded from the current financial regime, and this is so unfortunate, folks. This is certainly the first element that the global finance has to solve. The reason is that if you are not giving them a fair access to financial inclusivity, from where they can earn online, from where they can transform their lives for themselves and for their families. If you provide them that, they might make a living. They might join this global financial transformation. Look at this. He believes blockchain wallets on mobile phones can unlock access to financial services where banks and ATMs can't reach. And this is a huge barrier when it comes to prosperity of the globe, folks. The technology can give dignity and opportunity to billions, he noted. And told you guys that it is not merely about a financial change, it is about social change as well. And XDC network wants to do that, folks. Institutions catching up as regulations clarify globally from Japan to the US. Institutional adoption is accelerating, and this is true, folks. A few years back, we wouldn't have imagined so many banks, so many financial organizations joining this digital asset race. Everyone wants to have a piece of the pie, and XDC network is the pie itself, folks. It is here to move trillions, folks, if not billions. Stablecoins, tokenized real-world assets, and cross-border settlements. By the way, if not quadrillions, I'll rephrase that. There is a FOMO among big players now, Kakkar said. Indeed, it is. Everyone fears missing out, FOMO. One more thing, the Genius Act that happened, folks, it is one of the landmark acts that is true because it ensures that USA is now in line to streamline everything, folks. They are here for this change, this global change. It is a landmark decision that gives confidence to fintechs and institutions alike, he emphasized. This is awesome, folks. After launching an ETP in Europe, XDC Network is now eyeing an ETF in US. So this is critical for unlocking trillions in traditional capital, like I told you guys, disrupting trillions. This is a quotation from Kakar. ETFs give easier access for both institutions and retail investors. It is the bridge we need between legacy finance and blockchain. Folks, oftentimes people say that XDC network is only targeting the institutions, it does not care about retail, but it cannot be further from the truth. It wants to change the lives of both the retail and financial big juggernauts as well. It wants to be that connecting point. It wants to be that bridge in global trade finance in which every stakeholder, no matter and regardless in which level they are, everyone can benefit from it, from small to medium enterprises all the way to larger players in the globe, folks. The company is also finalizing a New York office, positioning itself in the world's financial hub. Obviously, New York is one of the best metropolitan cities in the world, and having an office there further builds credibility and changes a mindset and a perspective of different stakeholders who see New York as that central hub, folks. Talking about tokenizing commodities, folks, now this is a huge topic in and of itself. Not only go gold, folks, as you all know, via Comtech Gold, XDC network wants to tokenize gold, and it will be huge. But tokenization is not merely tokenization of gold. We're talking about commodities, we're talking about gold, silver, diamonds, we're talking about real estate. This is a huge factor, folks, a huge sector. The commodity market is worth hundreds of trillions. Even a 1% shift into tokenization is an $8 trillion opportunity, Cocker said. Now, look at this, folks. Absorb the magnitude of this, digest what this stands for, what this opportunity is. I mean, this is huge. Like I told you guys, we're talking about even quadrillions in some of way, shape, and form, folks, in the future. Look at this. Tucker believes we are building not just for efficiency, but for trust, inclusion, and a more sustainable financial future. We're not talking about a scenario where everything will disrupt. will change. We're talking about a financial future where everything will be digital. We're talking about real estate. If someone is living for, let's say, in London, he can buy a building in New York or at least give it out for rent. This is the future we're talking about. This is the true globalization that we talk about. We have been promised globalization time and again, but to be honest, we haven't truly achieved that. Blockchain wants to change that. XDC network wants to change that. Now, folks, let's see what's happening with XDC over here. This is a weekly recap. We always enjoy this one. Weekly recap 21st September to September 27th, 2025. Let's check out what XDC has been up to. Okay, XDC RWA Accelerator. Plug and Play and the XDC Foundation have launched the second XDC RWA Accelerator, onboarding 11 innovative startups focused on real world asset tokenization and integrating with XDC Network. The 2-month program will culminate with a showcase at Plug and Play Silicon Valley Summit, enabling these teams to collaborate with corporates, legal experts, and institutional partners. Now, this is something that goes unnoticed time and again. These are the small developments that people miss out in the midst of huge updates. Yeah, we all like huge developments. But folks, from the looks of it, we're seeing that XDC network is still developing with this showcase at Plug and Play Silicon Valley Summit. An opportunity to connect with so many experts, institutional partners, and whatnot. What else? Let's check this out. Okay, breaking silos. Builders from Algorand, XDC Network, and Hedera came together to highlight how tokenized RWAs are reshaping industries, from digital media and whiskey to global trade finance. The session featured Book.io, Cask Capital, and Quincy Jones, with Tate on Chain hosting the conversation. So, folks, why is this special? Why is being associated with the likes of Algorand and Hedera so good? As you all know, the governing council of Hedera consists of such huge powerhouses. Google is one of them. So, Hedera is on its way to becoming a powerhouse of a project. Meanwhile, Algorand, an innovative layer one in the space as well, innovation with the minds of MIT University folks, one of the biggest universities in the world. They're involved with Algorand and XDC network, uh, coming together with them to talk about tokenized real world assets. I think is really great. Really good developments, to be honest, for this week. I really like what's happening over here. Okay, what else happened? Yeah, this is what we talked about in that article as well. The latest episode of the XDC Mana podcast featured XDC Network co founder Ritesh Kakkar sharing insights from his recent trip to New York and Wall Street. The conversation explored stablecoins, DATCO versus ETFs, and XDC's positioning as the preferred layer one for tokenized assets, payments, and enterprise adoption. Now, look at this. $1 trillion written all over it, $1 trillion written all over it, $1 trillion written all over it, folks. In isolation as well, if we combine them, then we're talking about triple digit trillions, like Kucker said. So a huge opportunity for the institutions, for the retail as well. Look at this. This is from Crypto Queen over here. Every search tells a story. Today, searching XDC on Google puts OKX front and center, promoting XDC as a game changer in trade finance and RWA tokenization. Look at this. When we search XDC, it says XDC Network OKX app over here, revolutionizing trade finance and real world asset. So this is really good, folks. A sponsored post. Everyone laughs at utility, obviously, when until institutions come into play. and then we realize how big of a deal it is because we're getting enhanced interoperability, we're getting regulations and compliance, we're talking about reality instead of merely speculations, and we're talking about efficiency and innovation in payments. Some technicals over here, check this out. Okay, so this is Bitcoin Tether. Overall, macro level. Obviously, up until this point, XDC and the likes are following the trajectory of Bitcoin and the others. Let's hope that they decouple soon. Look at this, exposed global bank building a secret crypto platform. Here is what they chose. Obviously, these utility gems, folks, hbar, XRP, XLM, algo, XDC, are all the part of a new financial system. Let's check this out. Seems interesting.
Check it out, Crypto Hulk here. Guess what we got? Swift. They move all the money in the world. And look what they're trying.
Look at this. Swift and a group of more than 30 financial institutions globally will develop a shared digital ledger with initial focus on real-time 24/7 cross-border payments. Awesome.
To do. They're trying to make a crypto ledger, a blockchain. Imagine that. But everybody's saying Swift's going to get taken over, and well, I don't think so. I've been telling you that for 5 years. Swift ain't going away. Now, I wish you'd go away, people that say all that dumb stuff. Now, what we got here is Swift is working on a blockchain with 30 banks. Gee, I wonder what the banker's coin is. Maybe XRP, I don't know. No, it's Ethereum. It's definitely Ethereum. Anyway, they're talking about consensus here and Ethereum and this and that. But you know what's interesting? Let's take a little look. You've got right here, consensus just hired a BlackRock, former head of digital assets. Okay, so now that's interesting because we know that Ondo is working with BlackRock for their first tokenized platform. Now we know that Ondo is using Cosmo SDK, and Ripple's involved in that. Right there, you can see very clearly Ondo is using that. It bridges Ethereum, Solana, and Cosmos. So this is all, now who made that? Well, we have Cosmos here. Ripple made that with Persist. Oh, dang. So Ondo's using that?
Really good developments for the utility projects, folks. I really like what's happening in the broader market. Anyways, folks, what do you guys think about XDC? Do you think that a sustainable financial future is being built? And do you think XDC is redefining global finance? I would really like your opinions. Do hit the comment box below and let the community know. Anyways, guys, this was it for the video. If you liked it, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification icon if you're interested in utility coins and potential gems. And you can also support the channel by checking out Patreon by following the link in the description box below. Until next time, stay blessed and stay tuned. Thank you very much, everyone.